Iranians in Nottingham are calling for a tough response after the execution of a British Iranian national. They've been protesting here against the brutal crackdown by their country's hardline regime. A teenager whose cousin lives in Nottingham has also been sentenced to death. And we've been speaking to a man who fled Iran after he was targeted too. Our social affairs correspondent Jeremy Ball reports.
A protest song in the centre of Nottingham. Mina says if she sung this back in Iran, she'd be arrested. She's horrified by what's happening in the country she fled 12 years ago.
This is the youngest prisoner.
This is part of a brutal crackdown on opposition to its hardline religious regime.
And this is Nico Karami.
Several men have been hanged recently. The latest, Ali Reza Akbari, was a British-Iranian dual national.
It is horrifying every day waking up to some bad news. It's either execution or a child being killed in the street or somebody being shot. We want targeted sanctions. That means, for example, visa ban on the members of the government and their families, so they can't come here, buy lands and do money laundering and take the money out of Iran, which is blood money.
Thousands of Iranians have been detained in this latest wave of protests, including women removing headscarves as an act of defiance, and a 19-year-old hairstylist who's now been sentenced to death for organising one of those protests. He's Mehdi Mohammadi Fard, whose cousin lives in Nottingham. Last week, her MP urged the government to help save his life.
Mehdi has been tortured, beaten, kept in solitary confinement in a rat-infested cell with nothing to lie on and nothing to eat for several days. He has a broken nose now. He's been sexually assaulted and tortured and has required hospital treatment.
But Karouche back in Nottingham says that's nothing new. We've changed his name and voice to protect his family. Karouche says the faded tattoo on his back first got him into trouble when he was just 15. A crucifix, a sign he'd converted to Christianity. And he says these bones in his hand were broken for giving someone else a tattoo. Karouche finally fled Iran, he says, after being caught in a gay relationship.
That is really painful for me. They killed him.
Your boyfriend?
Yeah. And they tried to kill me as well. And after that, I thought they would try to do what is not finished.
Iran's accused Western governments of stoking the latest unrest, but now Britain's imposed new sanctions and withdrawn its ambassador. And back in Nottingham, Mina's determined that pressure doesn't stop. Jeremy Ball, BBC East Midlands Today.